Hi, it's Miss Pritzel at the Upton West Library, and I am talking the long-awaited, much-anticipated final book in the One of Us is Lying series. So this is One of Us is Back by Karen and McManus. This book does not disappoint. Now, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I'm going to be looking down to look at my notes because what happened is I read this book during the summer when it first came out, but we have to order books, and then the books come in, and then they have to get their barcode and everything. So it takes a while to get them back, and so that's why I write myself notes. So if you see me looking down, it's just that I want to make sure I tell you what was so awesome about this book. I will say it is, as of right now, my favorite Karen McManus book of all of them. So, obviously, suspense thriller. Some people may call it a mystery. I feel like there's not a lot of investigations, and that's how I differentiate between a mystery and a suspense thriller. So, Jake is our bad guy from book one. I should say that so if you've read the first two books, there are the main characters in the first book, which are, let me look at my notes, Addison, Cooper, Bronwyn, Nate, Phoebe, and then Jake and Simon. Their points of view are told in flashbacks, so they're not told in the present time. That's called the Bayfield Crew from the first book. They are back, and they are the main characters in this, because if you've read the second book, what happened in the second book is she took secondary characters from the first book and made them the primary characters, or the main characters. So this book starts out that Jake, our bad guy, is out of jail, and he's on probation as he's waiting for a new trial. And all of a sudden these billboards and other things start going around is it Bayview? Yeah, Bayview. Saying a new game's in town. And this is kind of making the crew uneasy, and for a good reason. So one of the Bayview crew is drugged and kidnapped, and they need to find out. They're not looking for that person the whole time, but that does happen. So yes, there are crimes that go on. So that is one of the things that really prompts them that, yes, they need to find out what's going on and what this new game is. So as I said, I really, to me, this was my favorite Karen McManus book. I truly loved how she took things from the first and second books and pulled them in to just wrap them up, but she had multiple plot twists and turns. Like I said, this is my favorite book of hers so far. Like I said, sometimes, series endings or additions to series don't have the same feeling that you get from the first ones. And I just felt like this was, this is a fantastic conclusion to the series, and who knows, maybe she'll write more. Sometimes that happens. So all I have to say is, if you have not read the series, you should read it in order. The story's going to be best that way, because there'll be things in here that you won't understand if you haven't done that. So I highly, 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 highly recommend for anyone who has read the One of Us is Lying series to read this book. And if you haven't read the One of Us Lying series, then you should be reading the One of Us is Lying series so that you can get to this book, because once again, it's my favorite Karen McManus book so far. So if this is not your cup of tea, I will help you find something else. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and keep on reading.